I don't think I would have been great in the 17th century. I would have enjoyed the frocks, and certainly some of the food would have been appealing, but the disease and hygiene would have worried me. Peter Capaldi. Here are 25 incredibly gross and surprising hygiene practices from history. 25. Clothes. You've probably wondered about this, and the answer is no, people did not change their clothes. Not even royalty. They usually only had 4 outfits, one for each season. 24. Birth. During labor, women were usually given oil and vinegar along with eagle dung, all meant to ease their pain. 23. Sickness. If you were sick in the past, the solution usually involved a leech. Why? To get rid of the bad blood. 22. Wigs. As you may suspect, they were usually infested with lice. What's more, they were shaped with animal fat, so they smelled bad and often caught fire. 21. Face washing. Nobility often washed their face every day, with urine. Don't be too surprised though, it's still suggested by some people today as a face wash. 20. Baldness. For a short time, chicken droppings mixed with potassium were rubbed into the scalp to cure baldness. 19. Bathing. Most people bathed in the same water. Since most people didn't have tubs at home, the baths were usually communal. 18. Bathroom breaks at night. If you had to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, you would most likely just reach under your bed for your bedpan. When you were done, you would just slide it back under the bed and go to sleep. The grossest part? The bedpans were often emptied right out of the window and onto the street. 17. Wiping. If you were a king, you didn't wipe by yourself. Kings typically had a groom of stool. This person's job was to carry around the king's portable toilet and cleaning necessities. Of course, you would also have to help wipe up afterwards. Contrary to what you may think, this position was actually highly coveted and often given to sons of nobles. As for the peasants, they used leaves. 16. Brushing. Romans used mouse brains to brush their teeth. 15. Antiseptics. After wine, urine was the most common antiseptic during Victorian times. 14. Beds. Thatched roofs often led to bird droppings throughout the cottage, even on the bed. 13. Waste. Often, it was just thrown into a cesspit not too far from the house. Of course, these were breeding grounds for diseases. 12. Laundry. You may be used to this by now, but on the rare occasion that laundry was done, it was usually done with a mixture of lye and urine. 11. Surgery. There were no such things as clean surgical instruments. Well, unless you consider a urine-drenched scalpel clean. 10. Hand washing. Okay, so in castles and large houses, there was usually a place to wash your hands during mealtime. Outside of this, however, washing was almost non-existent. Just remember that people still didn't know about germs and bacteria. 9. Moats. Those clean, sparkling moats that you've seen in pictures? Yeah, that's a fairy tale. Moats were the perfect dumping ground for most castles. 8. Streets. Up until the 18th century, there was no effective street cleaning regime. Most streets in the city were covered with feces, both human and animal, urine, animal corpses, and rotting food. 7. Floors. Indoors, the dirt floor was often covered with straw. While the top layer was often changed, the bottom layer was usually left alone. As you can imagine, this effectively led to a bacteria breeding ground. 6. Eyebrows. Unfashionable eyebrows were often masked by small bits of skin from a mouse. 5. Sewers. In cities that did have some sort of sewer system, it was typically open. As in, there were no sewer drains. People would just throw stuff in. Of course, this beat throwing stuff straight into the street. 4. Rivers and lakes. Rivers and lakes got so polluted by waste that in the 14th century, the English Parliament levied fines against illegal dumping. 3. Makeup. Women during the Victorian era used a lead powder to give their faces a creamy white complexion. Instead of washing, many times they would just keep adding more lead. Not surprisingly, this led to many sicknesses. Oh, that got a little dark. 2. Freckles. Freckles were considered unsightly, and often people would rub sulfur into their skin to try to get rid of them. 1. Deodorant. They didn't have it. Not even a little bit. Pretty much everyone smelled funky, and nobody noticed because they were used to it. Royalty, however, did sometimes use flowers to smell better. Enjoying our lists? Be sure to click that subscribe button in the top right corner so you don't miss out on new ones every Monday through Friday. Share them with your friends and help us consistently conciliate curiosity. And if you want even more lists, check out these 2 videos here, or just head to our website at list25.com.